We just wrapped up the Ithaca, New York volleyball regional. NYU defeated Ithaca in 3 sets, very tightly contested match. Final scores were 25-22, 28-26, and 25-23. And joining us right now are the Ithaca College Bombers with head coach Johan Dolfer and student athletes number 10, Peyton Miller, and number 17, Alexandra Montgomery. Coach, you just want to talk about tonight's match before we get into some questions?
Yeah, thanks, Justin. In baseball, there's a term, manufacturing runs, and I feel like we were in that mode all night. I feel like offensively, we just couldn't quite muster enough kills at the right moments. I thought this match was clearly, the score says it's super close. I think in the end, the best team won. But it's tough to swallow because there were moments where I think we were in the lead and ready and primed to take the first set. Certainly deserved to take the second set. Had opportunities, had moments, had the right things happen, the right serves at the right times, and the little things didn't go our way. I mean, a net call when a ball goes out of bounds. Were we in the net? Probably, but an inch away from, half an inch away from taking the second set in the match, and the world look a lot different. So we talked afterwards about we can't get caught up in how close it was. I mean, in the end, it's probably easier to get blown out than to know that, we could have still been playing and it would have probably been deserved if we were still playing. But in the end, what matters is what our run did for putting Ithaca back on the map after what happened last year and how many people we lost and the position we were in, how bright the future looks and how amazing we played today without being great. But that had a lot to do with NYU. I thought the team we saw today on the other side of the net was different than on day one of season. And I also thought that they looked much different than the last 2 days. They were definitely locked in and focused and ready to go. And when you play a great team like that, you need to have a little bit of luck on your side. And in the end, we didn't today, but we wish NYU all the best going forward.
Thank you.
Coach, I just want to touch on the creativity from your side of the floor. You mentioned it yesterday in the press conference. You were going to throw a couple things out that you weren't expecting. I mean, Ellie Benedict came in, grabbed a kill, Peyton as well. You went for one, and just want to. Was that a plan coming into this one? Did you guys save that for this match?
No, when we ran out of subs, and that's unfortunate because we had an opportunity to. If you sub as much as we do, you're limited to 15. If you sub as much as we do, you've got to close out the set at the right time, or you're going to run out of subs. But Ellie has swung at the net all of her life, and she's fearless tonight. She played great, and for her to get that kill was a huge moment. And some of those points could have gone our way, and if, like I said, we could still be playing. But that definitely wasn't a plan. But it just goes to show that we have faith in everybody. And I have no problems putting Peyton in the front row, and I actually expected her to swing at that ball that she ended up tipping, and I'm fine with that. And we played one of the best teams in the country, and here we go. And Peyton's like, "What? Do I go to the front row?" Sure. And it's this group and this year, and I just trust all of them to the ends of the earth, and it's how it ended up happening, and it just didn't fall our way.
You talked about yesterday, there were some worries coming into the season. You didn't know what the identity was going to be, how this formed. I guess how proud are you of the way that everything turned out for all three of you?
Thanks. I think that's a really good question for them to start with.
I'm incredibly proud of the work that this team put in. I think that we saw growth from absolutely everyone throughout the season, and I'm sure you can tell watching this bench, every single person was completely focused and into that match, and there was no doubt that every single person was so happy to be here and wanted that game more than anything, and we all fought until the very last second for it. So.
Yeah, pretty much what Alex has to say. I think that we all can trust each other so much, and that we built such a good foundation for the program.
In the end, the biggest lesson I always think in life, and this sounds weird, but the biggest lesson I hope that players, one of the bigger lessons I hope my players take away from the program is sometimes your best isn't good enough. Tonight our best wasn't good enough, and that's okay as long as you put everything you have into it, because you never want to look back and say, well, could it have been if I had just given it 100%? Tonight we gave it 105%, and it just wasn't good enough, but it was so close that it's painful. And like I said, you'd rather be blown out almost. But that's a lesson in life we have to learn. And honestly, beginning the third set, I was a little cautious because usually what happens if you fight that closely for a set and you fall down 0-2, that third set's like an inflection point. You could easily go down big numbers and get blown out like Babson did yesterday against us. And I was afraid that would happen. And we went into a hole by 5 points and then fought back and took the lead at the end. And that tells me a lot about what this group is all about, because we still had chances to win it at the end. And it all came down to 1 or 2 balls in each set, 1 or 2 balls, 1 or 2 calls. And it's a good life lesson going forward. Sometimes they don't fall your way, but man, if you just put everything into it, you never have to wonder and look. You need to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, "Yep, I gave it my all." And that's, I feel like, what we did this year. Very proud of them.
Peyton, Coach, I mean, 3 seniors graduating. Can you just speak to this group of leaders and what they brought to your program over the last 4 years?
Yeah, I think especially my freshman year is kind of, the COVID season happened. We lost their main leader, so we kind of had to set the program from. There's brand new people coming in, like our seniors, our captains, Alex and Julia, and Jamie as well, who wasn't a captain but was a really strong leader for our team. They kind of took us in our hands. We were the biggest classes, us 2 combined, and they really helped us. Were friends for us in the program and just really strong leaders for us.
You're one of those leaders. Do you want to add anything?
Well, the question was for the 2 of you.
No, I think you can answer it too. How did it feel to be part of that class?
Yeah, I mean, seeing the growth of this program since COVID was just really incredible, and I'm going to be eternally grateful that I was able to be a part of that. So.
COVID was hard on a lot of sports teams across the country, and our program needed a reset after some very successful years. And stewardship is all about leaving something better than you found it. And you want to do that in your life with everything. But these players have done it with the volleyball program that they were a part of, and will always be a part of. So I'm really, really proud of them.
Good. Well, Coach, Alex, Peyton, congratulations on an amazing season, 27 wins and a regional final, and almost the whole team coming back next year. So I'm excited to see what you all can do. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.